Howdy everybody, my name is Howdy McDaniel Jr. and welcome to podcast number 40, where we welcome all seekers of truth in science and optimal health. I've been quoting from the Fisher Institute of Medical Research periodicals. Just so you have a heads up, I will continue to do so for probably the next 30 or so podcasts, however. Today we review the last 9 podcasts, starting with number 31, where we discussed a heart transplant study. We also discussed an Agent Orange patient study and weight loss study. In 32, we discussed the article entitled Medical Community Making a Killing with HMOs and how you can take your power back. You take your power back by controlling the quality of your health. In number 33, we discussed an asthma study, a cerebral palsy study. In 34, about an insulin dependent study, and PWS, also known as Strasbismus. Number 35 included a study taking up the whole broadcast about how supplements support human health. Podcast 36 was packed in regards to increasing performance on marathon runners, CRP, ANA, and an autoimmune study. In 37, we discussed radio protectors, which was radiation protection, several deviations from normal by name, and the Chicago Ghetto study. Podcast 38 was the retired NFL players' quality of life study, a cystic fibrosis study, and a neuropathy study, also a disabled children study, and the hospital administration absentee study. Finally, 39 was about the supplementation in a nursing home study, a myasthenia gravis MG study, and finally the stem cell reproduction study. So here we are at podcast 40, and hope you're seeing a trend with all these published studies on humans by doctors as well as animals who cannot experience a placebo effect, in case that is what you're thinking. All the aforementioned studies were difficult to produce and publish because of limited financial resources. The purpose of Fisher Institute of Medical Research is to show scientific duplicatable data to justify larger and more controlled studies. Ascend Sciences International has marked millions of dollars in future sales specifically for these studies. Ascend Sciences International will be able to do this because there are no principal or sub-investors in its company at this time, nor in its structure, and we hope to keep it that way. Therefore, it is not owned or controlled by anyone except the founder and CEO, Joe Ware. This helps the company grow exponentially. So if you choose to get involved, you will have unlimited opportunities to aid in the dissemination of critical information to change the quality of life of anyone you come in contact with if the need is there. You don't have to be a doctor or professional practitioner. You just tell folks to try it. It works, and how and why it works if they want to know. And it's based on scientific published papers I have been quoting from as of day 1 and will continue to do so in future podcasts. Once I have dispelled most of the science and publications, we will embark on having guests on my show with actual results in their lives, having many times a new lease on life and certainly a much better quality of life. Well, we're all out of time again today, so if you want to cut to the chase, ask the person who invited you to my podcast about how to get involved in this company after you get your questions answered so you can make an educated decision. And I hope you will share my podcast with your friends, because I only provide scientifically proven, life-changing and life-saving information every single time. To close, I always end with the Quaker parable by John Greenleaf Whittier. I lift thee and thee lift me, and together we ascend. See y'all next time.